Welcome to SuperTalk, the podcast that scratches your superhero itch. Just two suburban dads nerding out over superhero stuff on the small screen and the big. Buckle up, people. Enjoy the ride.
Welcome to SuperTalk, the weekly podcast dedicated to news and reviews of comic book media on the big and small screen. This is episode 165. I'm your host, Brian Professor Pettis, and with me, as always, my illustrious co-host, Titanium, Tony Estrella. Titanium.
Professor, how was your Labor Day weekend, sir?
It was wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah. You and I were chatting a little bit before we started the show. Best weather at the end of August ever.
Yeah.
Like in the history of ever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't remember when it was warm, sunny, no humidity, no wind, just glorious. I mean, if you wanted to do something outdoors this past weekend,
Super.
you should have been doing it.
Yeah.
If you were sitting inside watching college football, look, I love college football kickoff weekend. It's great. But hopefully you were out on some patio somewhere watching college football because the weather was just off the chain.
That's where I was. I was at an outdoor brewery with large television.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And
you
great
actually
football.
felt guilty being indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so beautiful.
Yeah, we were actually outside the whole time. But man, I love college football. I love college football. The fall is kind of creeping in, that crisp in the air in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Woke up this morning and I was like, man, it's cold out.
It's chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Put a sweatshirt on. This is like great. It's great.
We got a few things to cover today, Professor. Peacemaker being one of them. A couple of big announcements. And then we'll get into some other stuff, but let's roll.
Yeah, let's jump into it. Well, we want to talk about first thing we want to talk about. We got a trailer came out this weekend, this past week, a couple days ago. Marvel Zombies is coming to Disney Plus on September 24th.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have zero interest in this.
Really?
Coming up to this trailer, I had zero interest in it.
I'm going to tell you why you should be interested.
No. Let me finish my sentence. I'm all in now.
No. You had zero interest.
I had zero interest.
So we knew this project was being made. We knew this series was being made. They teased it many years ago, said we're doing a Marvel's, and we know that there was a What If episode in season 1 of What If.
Right, and it was okay.
Had a little bit of Marvel Zombies in it.
A whole series.
And they were like, they're going to do a whole series.
Exactly.
Yeah. And but now you're all in.
All in.
So now the two things that got me in the trailer.
Hit me.
TVMA.
Yeah.
So literally when the trailer hits, it says for mature audiences, and they're dropping F-bombs and S-bombs, and they're like cursing, ripping people's
spines out,
putting fists through people's chests. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I thought it was a comic of the boys or Invincible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, this is insane. So that hooked me.
Yeah.
And the other thing the reason why I thought you will be interested in this is it's loosely based on the comic book series Marvel Zombies. So they did a series or a run in the comics called Marvel Zombies. It was based in an alternate universe, and it was written by Robert Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead, our boy from Invincible, one of our favorite writers of this type of media. Robert Kirkman wrote Marvel Zombies. It was in an alternate universe, and it's where all this stuff happens, and then ultimately the zombies conquer that universe and start going into other universes. It's a crazy thing, but I think this is going to be really cool.
Oh, did you see the action sequence that Blade? I guess he's a Moon Knight.
He's now Moon Knight.
Moon Knight.
Blade is Moon Knight because Moon Knight got killed. The original Moon Knight got killed, and Blade took the mantle of Moon Knight. Oh my God.
That if live action,
he's fighting Ghost, the zombie Ghost.
Yeah. How cool was that?
Yeah.
Also, the scene where Spider-Man is like pulling zombies, and then
he rips all their heads off.
Rips their heads off.
He literally whips like 10 different zombie heads as he's flying through the air, and then rips them off their bodies.
Brutal.
So here's one of the rumors I heard about this. Is that originally this was going to be a movie.
Wow.
It was going to be called Marvel Zombies. It was going to be
animated movie.
Animated movie.
Okay,
It was going to be a movie. And they talked about potentially releasing it in theaters. If not in theaters, it would have been a movie on Disney Plus. Sony put the kibosh on it because Sony owns the rights for Spider-Man in any movie.
Oh, right.
TV, they don't. They don't own Spider-Man's rights for television, which is why we got Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and all the other things we've gotten from Disney and Marvel. But Sony owns the movie rights. So when they wanted to make the movie, and they obviously have Spider-Man in it, Sony was like, no. You're not putting Spider-Man in a zombie movie and having him ripping off heads and cursing and everything else. That's against brand for us. So
that's fascinating, Professor. You're dropping some major Spider-Man knowledge on me. That's awesome.
So this is now a movie that's basically been cut up into several episodes. They're releasing all of the episodes simultaneously, just like they did with Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Which I love.
I liked it.
You can binge it if you want. You can, watch it over a couple days if you want.
It was awesome.
But the footage they released is so good.
Yeah.
So we know
I'm all in on it now.
All of the
zero interest to all in.
All of the original Avengers are zombified. We know that for certain. Which was part of the plot of the What If episode that we saw. We know that, like, I think it's we know that Shang-Chi's in this. He's still human. Blade and / Moon Knight is still human. Shuri, I believe, is still human.
Yelena
Belova, Winter Soldier, I believe.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Well, he was in the original, but but anyway, David Harbour, Red Guardian, he's still human. So look, this looks so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
that trailer knocked me on my butt.
You know what? And this is the type of content I want them to make.
Yes.
It has zero relevance into anything that's ever happened in the past.
It's complete standalone.
Nor does it have any relevance to anything that's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
It's a complete standalone project, very similar to What If. It's like, if you like it, great. If you don't like it, who cares? It's not going to impact what's going on in the MCU down the road.
Yeah.
I just think it's brilliant. And it's, again, based on, guess what? Comic book, history.
Yeah.
They have a template to use.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Pull up your comic book Captain America, or your zombie Captain America, right over there on the shelf there.
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's zombie Captain
America. Captain
He's
America.
featured prevalently in the trailer. But yeah, I mean,
that's awesome.
I think it's going to be brilliant. I love it. I think it. I mean, and look, if it stinks, who cares? But I just think it's going to be. This is fun stuff to watch.
It is.
It's like, okay,
it's different and fun. Yeah,
and it's again, they're characters, and they bring back the original actors to voice these characters. I think it's great. And
100% correct. You know me. They're pulling straight from the source material from the comics, and that's so important, I think, because they know it worked. So why not bring it in?
Well, again, nobody bought the Marvel Zombies comic book because they were like, I wonder where they're going with this one. No, they were like, wow, this seems really cool. What happened? What would happen if many of our favorite characters were turned into zombies and they were in the zombie apocalypse, and they retained some of their memories and some of their powers, and and then they had superheroes that are trying to fight against them. I mean, brilliant concept.
And when does this drop? September
24th.
September 24th. Great.
Yeah, end of the month.
So right around the corner.
Right.
Can't wait.
Perfect.
Can't wait.
Perfect. Yeah, so I really like the trailer. If you haven't seen it, go out and check it out. Again, it's for mature audiences only. So you younger listeners out there, please be careful. But yeah, it looks great. So
yeah,
we'll be looking forward to that, and we'll definitely do our review of it when it comes out. For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's jump into some news items this week. Have you seen, Titanium, some of these little snippets that have come out about some potential drama on the set?
Rumors of some butting heads?
Yeah.
Some egos?
Who do you think that there's drama between, and do you think it's true? And if it is true, would you be surprised?
I'm not really surprised. You have a lot of A-list Hollywood actors on set vying for screen time. When I first heard this rumor, I thought it might be Ryan Reynolds and Robert Downey Jr. maybe butting heads. But then the latest is it could be Harbor and Wyatt Russell.
Russell, yeah.
Wyatt Russell. So it could be those two, um, you know, U.S. agent and the Red Guardian butting heads. So that's the latest. It might be those two. I don't know. Is this a PR thing to be released just to promote? I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
look, the delay of the movie itself offers some speculation as to why was there a delay. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing that's come out of this, is that there was a delay. Well, it has to be because there was drama. And other rumors are there millions of dollars on reshoots now, and certain actors won't work with each other, and all this other stuff. And TMZ actually did some research into this, said it was untrue.
Right.
So I don't believe, is there drama on set? Wouldn't surprise me at all. These are, like you said, A-list actors with huge egos.
Correct.
Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid $50 million a film for each of these two films. He's got the biggest ego out there. And Ryan Reynolds has got a pretty big ego too, I would think. So if it happens, who cares? Just make a good movie.
Yeah.
Now, if it delays the movie again, then I'll care.
Yeah. Delaying this movie, I think, was the right thing to do, to put all the pieces together and get all these scheduling. Scheduling must be a nightmare.
Oh yeah.
Think about scheduling all
would they have 50 chairs? How many chairs were in Chair Watch?
And not all of them have been announced.
Yeah, they're saying now we're going to get another Chair Watch. Of who else is in the movie?
That has been dropping every Wednesday for the past 3 months.
Right.
The new Chair Watch is going to be dropping.
Right. We'll see. But yeah. So that's my thought about it.
So also, rumor, Professor, did you hear anything about the Russos and Paul Rudd releasing some footage at D23?
Yeah, so D23 was last week. I believe it was in Orlando or Los Angeles. I can't remember where they did it. They do this thing every year. It's like the D23 Expo. And I guess during the expo, Paul Rudd and the Russos popped up on screen. They're like, hey, we wish we could be there with you, but we're in London filming. We're busy making this movie for you. And they released some footage, and some of the audio has leaked online. It's really, a lot of the audio is actually from other films. It's snippets from like Thor: Love and Thunder and Captain America: Brave New World and Fantastic Four, and like all the actors that kind of that they're featured in the movie saying one of their lines from those movies. I don't think there was any real footage. The one thing that I heard that came out of this footage was Paul Rudd was talking about them filming on set, and he was like, behind him you could see the set they were filming on, and a lot of it looked like it was like 1940s America, like vintage 1940s cars, which leads me to believe, the last time we were in that era was when Cap went back to be with Peggy Carter.
Correct.
And that would lead me to believe that maybe the Avengers or Loki or somebody has to go back there to interact with him, or maybe Dr. Doom goes back there to interact with him at some point in time. But again, it's all rumor and speculation at this point in time. I'm really trying.
Spoiler, rumor, speculation.
I'm trying to stay away from plot leaks and all kinds of other things. Again, my feeling is, and again, you want to release a set photo here and there, gets me excited about things. Great. Right. But I don't want to know plot leaks and all this other shit. Look, just make a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully, I would think so that was D23. If this movie's coming out next December, we probably don't even get a trailer for this until
July
next year.
July next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
They got a lot to put together.
Yeah.
They got a lot to put together.
Yeah, for sure. I understand there was a major announcement by James Gunn today.
Wow. Did you see that?
I did see it. So what do you think of this?
I think James Gunn announced that he's working on the next Superman movie, Man of Tomorrow, due out in theaters. And this was shocking. Yes. Due out in theaters July 9th, 27.
2 years from now.
That's unreal.
So not only is he working on it, they're going to be going into production on this movie later this year or early next year.
Yeah.
So he either already has a script or he's almost done with the script.
Unreal. and so smart to ride off the coattails of the success of Superman, his original, and then to release this already. And the image that he released during this announcement was Lex in his Lex suit, his armor suit, and Superman. So
Standing next to each other.
standing next to each other, and Superman's kind of leaning on him like casually.
Yeah,
So
this is battle armor, Lex's battle armor, and Superman standing next to each other. Look,
could they team up against Brainiac?
Yeah, so the rumors are that Brainiac is going to be the big bad in this movie, and that photo that he released definitely leads us to believe that the two of them will be working together to fight against Brainiac. It just makes all the sense in the world. Good on you, James Gunn.
Absolutely.
I mean, 2 years from now, release another Superman movie in 2 years from the original one. I mean, come on, dude.
So I was on
the guy.
I was on X, and the new guy that plays John Stewart, the Lantern, Aaron Pierre. I'm going to butcher his name, even if I try to say it. But anyway, the guy that's playing Green Lantern
in the Lantern series
that plays John Stewart, he tweeted about that.
Yeah.
So he let a tweet, which leads me to believe that he might be in that movie.
Yeah, and the girl that plays Hawkgirl also
tweeted something.
Said, see you in 2 years, basically.
Yes. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So he's bringing more of his people into that. I wouldn't be surprised if we
world
saw
building.
Peacemaker. Yeah.
It's called world building.
Yeah.
I love it. And that was, again, one of my favorite things about the Superman movie was the fact that he started to include these other ancillary characters from the DCU in the Superman movie, so that he's building this world that has superheroes in it. And let's bring them in, you
know? Did you hear something about Vin Diesel? What is the Vin Diesel thing going on?
I love Vin Diesel, and literally nobody has gotten more mileage out of voicing a character that says 3 words more than Vin Diesel.
Absolutely.
Now, I am Groot. Literally, I'm sure it's made him millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And he loves playing the character, even though he only says 3 words, differently every time, of course. But he has really talked about in the past that he wants to do more with this character. And we saw at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that, this character is continuing to evolve.
Yeah.
And we don't know where it's going. Well, he came out and basically said that he's been working with Marvel on a Groot movie that somehow includes the Hulk in it, which that would be awesome as well. And some of the other characters that were at the end credit scene of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 would also be part of this movie.
The new Guardians.
I'm all for it.
If it's true.
Look, Groot is absolutely one of the best and most beloved characters that have been in all 3 of those movies.
Agree.
And if you can make a movie with him at the front of the movie, I'm all for it. I'm all in. Give it to me.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic.
Did you see what movie went into production this past week?
I did not. DC, Marvel, really?
So
what you got?
The X-Men film officially entered production. It is no longer in pre-production.
X-Men?
Marvel X-Men is now entered production.
That's fantastic.
Which means
that's great news.
Start hiring. We already know the director. We're going to start hiring actors.
Well, we'll start leaking the casting of actors.
You and I are going to have at least 12 months of casting rumors for the X-Men movie to talk about.
If they haven't already casted a few for Secret Wars, I mean, they could be. That's fantastic. I did not hear that. That's great news.
And we haven't heard, and this is one thing you and I have complained about a few times now. We don't know much about Marvel's plans past Doomsday and Secret Wars. As a matter of fact, we know nothing about their plans. We only know of rumored time slot or dates that have been set aside for Marvel projects on the schedule.
Right. Movie projects.
Right. We do know of a few dates in 2028. So we have Doomsday 2026, Secret Wars end of 2027. We do know of a couple of dates in 2028 that are already on the schedule for Marvel movies. And the rumor now is that one of those early dates in 2028 will be their X-Men movie. And look, you're talking to the biggest X-Men fan in the world.
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Reboot it. If this is the beginning of the soft reboot for Marvel, I'm all in. I can't wait. And if this is what we're talking about while we're waiting for these other two movies to come out, I'm all for it.
I agree 100%. And I think a X-Men movie, a team up movie of X-Men would be fantastic. But if you had to pick one character to do a standalone movie that had cameos and incorporated some other X-Men, what would that character be?
I don't think, and I know where you're going with this, I don't think there's a character right now at this present point in time without introducing the actor playing that character some other way,
Correct.
which you could do.
Correct. Assuming that they did that in Secret War or Doomsday.
I mean, I look, there's a handful of them. I mean, I think you need to establish those characters somewhere else first before they get a standalone movie. And a team movie or some other team aspect is the best place to do that. And then you say, well, how did that character land? How did that actor or actress land playing that character? And then do they warrant having their own movie? There's characters that would warrant their own movie. I mean, a Gambit movie would be great. A Storm movie would be great. I mean, I think there's enough characters that are relevant enough they could carry a movie, but who's playing that character?
Right.
And is there enough interest in somebody going to buy a ticket to go see that person play that character, and who else is going to be in that movie? Right. That's the big difference between the X-Men and many other superheroes. Like Superman, you can have a Superman movie. You can add other characters in it, but it's a Superman movie. You can have a Batman movie. You can have a Spider-Man movie.
Right.
But the X-Men are a team. And rarely, if ever, Wolverine being the big exception, have had their own standalone movies, right? I don't know if we have enough juice right now. I'd say just make a great X-Men team movie, or feature some of these X-Men, sprinkle them in a little bit here and there. Oh, guess what? Rogue showed up.
Engage the excitement of Rogue or the new Gambit or Storm. Yeah.
Or Iceman or Beast or whoever. I don't care. Like, just feature them somewhere, you know?
I would love a standalone Storm movie.
Oh, I think so too.
Establish a strong, probably arguably, Rogue, Storm, arguably the strongest female superhero in existence is, in my opinion, is Storm.
Yeah, so. And while each one of these characters has had their own limited series at some point in time in the comics, or they've been away from the team and had dealing with their own things at times in the comics, rarely were those extremely successful. So I would point to the source material. Well, show me
You're right.
a limited series that was really successful. Like they did, for example, a Gambit limited series where they went back and saw his time, in Louisiana, being part of the Thieves Guild, and how he grew up, and all the, he had to go back there, and all his relatives and people who, he owed money to, and all it. Like, is that really compelling enough? Maybe it is, but just pull from the source materials. Is what I would say. Find a good story. If you want to do a love story between Black Panther and Storm, fantastic, because it actually happened.
Right.
So show me that.
And that was popular. That was popular in the source material.
Yeah.
I agree. Excellent.
All right. Well, let's jump into our topic of the week this week. It is our review of the premiere of the Peacemaker series on HBO Max.
Yes.
And it's brought to us by our friends over at Studio GG Studios, home of the man band Corn on the Cob.
Yes, sir.
Hey, and thanks for the new swag, Studio G. We have yet to feature it here on the show, but we will.
Yeah.
I know Titanium's going to do some set work here, but we got a new piece of swag to show off at some point in time.
Absolutely. A gorgeous rug with
So thank you, Studio G. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So Peacemaker season 2 premiered on HBO Max not quite 2 weeks ago, but a couple weeks ago. And we got the first 2 episodes, which we'll talk about tonight.
Spoilers.
Spoilers. If you haven't watched the first 2 episodes, pause the show, go watch the first 2 episodes, and then come back and hear what we have to say about it. Look, first thing first, John Cena loves this character.
Yeah.
Loves this character. He did a ton of press leading up to this show premiering.
Yeah.
He was on the Tonight Show. He was on the Today Show. He was featured in People magazine.
90% of the time in costume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And he loves this character and loves what he's been doing with it. And you can tell, by the way, when you're watching the show that he really enjoys playing this character. And again, all credit to James Gunn, by the way. The guy just knows how to write good characters.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. We saw that with Guardians of the Galaxy. We saw it with Peacemaker season 1. He just writes these characters very well. And episode 1, I felt, I don't know about you, I was like, wow, I'm glad these guys are back.
Yeah, it was good. I'm really enjoying Peacemaker. I love the character. I like the character development from some of the characters that we really didn't get a lot of in season 1. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. And it's quite trippy, and it's got some plot twists that I didn't see coming.
So season 1, we don't want to do a full recap of season 1 on this episode today, but season 1 really centered around this invasion of Earth by these, what do you want to call them? Fairies, or these little like pixies or whatever that would invade.
Alien butterflies
that
bugs.
would, they could invade the body of somebody and take over their body and all kinds of other things. And he was able to thwart this entire, takeover by this alien race and, save the universe basically. And that's kind of, we pick up right at the end of season 1 in this season 2. And I love what James Gunn did reshooting the end of the final episode. So he starts episode 1 off with kind of a little bit of a recap of season 1.
He retconned the whole the whole DCEU.
So at the end of season 1, at the last episode, Peacemaker's walking out with Amanda Harcourt in his arms as he's walking out of this farm where they had basically killed off all the aliens. And the Justice League, the original Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? Henry Cavill and we had Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Cyborg. Their silhouettes all show up. And there was a funny interaction between Flash and Aquaman. As a matter of fact, Jason Momoa was actually in the end of that episode. It was kind of funny. But he reshot that to have the silhouettes of all the current DCU characters.
Yeah.
So we saw Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, Superman, Supergirl, and Hawkgirl all standing there in the silhouette. So he replaced them all with his current DCU. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But we start this season really at the end of season 1, and the team. So we remember Amanda Waller was running Task Force X, Argus, and she was ousted and thwarted and all kinds of other things that happened in season 1. And her daughter, Adebayo, I think is her name, right? Kind of outed her at the end of Peacemaker season 1, and she was sent to jail. So she's no longer in charge. So she's kind of been ousted or ostracized from Argus because she outed her mom. Harcourt's been fired as well because she, didn't obey rules and didn't follow leadership and all kinds of other things. So she's gone. The only person who still works there is Economist, and I think he's so funny.
Yeah, he's a great character.
He's so funny. But we come to find out that Peacemaker is having some trouble after, he finding his way again. He's like, I want to be a superhero, and he goes interviews with the Justice League, what do they call them? The Justice Crew?
The Justice
Crew.
Justice Group?
Justice Crew. It's like the JC, right?
The JC, yeah.
Justice Crew. Yeah, it's Maxwell Lord's team.
Right.
We saw this scene teased in the trailer, but he's being interviewed by Maxwell Lord and Hawkgirl and Green Lantern, and he completely gets shot down.
Oh, yeah. They make fun of him, and
he's depressed. He can't get on a superhero team, so he doesn't know what to do with himself. Harcourt's going through a tough time. She's all kinds of angry and
dealing with male masculinity issues.
Right. She's meeting with a therapist and
about to clobber him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she ends up going to a bar. She ends up going to a bar and just picking a fight with everybody in the bar and wrecks house for a while until they gang up on her and beat the crap out of her. So she's dealing with issues. And we find out that, the pocket universe that Chris Peacemaker's dad had in their house, where he kept all the helmets and all his uniforms and everything. There's all these doors in there that lead to other
universes,
alternate universes. So he's, having a hard time. He decides to and
What's so brilliant about that is that in the first season, that pocket universe was, yes, it was kind of explained, but it wasn't like a key focal point
no.
of the whole show. It was just like where his helmets were, and his father would go in there and invent things, and that's where he kept his supercomputer and
Right.
all the stuff, his uniform, his outfit.
And I love
It's
how
bizarre.
James Gunn tied this into the events of the Superman movie.
Yes.
Is that in the Superman movie, Lex Luthor had his own pocket universe
Right.
and ended up ripping a hole in Metropolis. And so Argus is now, like, hey,
Monitoring it.
we need to monitor for pocket universes, and they detect a similar energy signal coming out of Chris's house. And so Chris has been under observation because this energy signature pops up every time he opens the door.
Yeah.
Well, he opens the door and goes in, and he says, I only go there every now and then to let Eagly fly around when it's too cold outside or something. But he decides to try the same code on the keypad that he has on his keypad on one of the other doors, and he walks in and walks into an alternate universe where his dad's still alive, his brother's alive,
Right.
and they're all buddies, and they all work together and live together, and they're on a team together.
And they're superheroes.
They're all superheroes, and they sit down and have a drink, and they're all chatting and talking. Oh, I missed you, dude. Where you been? All this other. He's like, my dad and my brother are alive, and we all get along. We love each other. It's great.
Yeah.
And then he finds out that he and Harcourt have a relationship in this universe.
Yeah,
And he's
she actually likes him.
he's like, wow, this is cool. And then at the end of the episode, the alternate version of himself finds him snooping around his own room.
He gets banged up and drunk and goes back there. Yeah.
After he has his bender. So that's what I say, that he ends up having a bender. He invites like 20 people over for some sex crazed orgy. I'm like, this is like classic James Gunn. It's so crazy. And they're snorting cocaine. They're doing everything. And then he ends up opening the door and going in when he's all busted up. And he goes into his other room in this other house, and the other version of himself finds him and attacks him.
Yeah.
And they run into the pocket universe. They're being chased and they're fighting, and he ends up killing the other version of himself.
Oh my God. I did not see that coming.
Oh my,
like, that was shocking.
Awesome.
That was crazy.
And that's how the episode ended. It was great.
It was insane.
So then episode 2 really deals with the aftermath of that. Chris is like, doesn't know and the whole first part of the episode where he's trying to like stow his body in this little like
container. Yeah.
And it keeps falling out. It was just awesome.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's compelling. Like, I can't wait to see the next episode. Like, I want to know where this story is going.
Yeah. It seems like that he thinks that this alternate universe is like the perfect universe for him. So he's now killed the other version of himself that lives in that universe.
Right.
And now he goes back to his universe, and Harcourt, like, they hooked up one time, but like she doesn't want to acknowledge him, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And he's like all depressed and upset about that.
Right.
And so he gets all drunk again at the end of episode 2, goes back into that universe and ends up texting her.
Yeah.
And she responds, and he's like, oh, I got a relationship with her over here. So it seems like he's been enamored with this potential other life that he could have over there.
So jealous of that universe and where the other Peacemaker's life is in that universe. And I think he wants to adopt that, and he might stay there.
Yeah. And the one thing about episode 2 I want to address, 2 important facts about episode 2. One, so we find out that Rick Flag Sr., General Flag, is now been put in charge of Argus. And he gets the file from his son being killed by Peacemaker in the events of the Suicide Squad movie. And he's like, I want to get this guy.
Yeah.
And they sent a task force over to Peacemaker's house to, invade the house looking for this pocket universe while he's out. Cause he was out hanging out with the something street crew, whatever they call them, First Street crew, or whatever.
11th Street
crew.
Yeah.
Where they call themselves. They're out partying on this rooftop and talking with each other. So they invade his house. And who saves the house from being invaded by Argus? Eagly. And he wrecks everybody.
Ripping people's eyes out, tearing their jugulars out. It's incredible.
And
It
what's
was
the
such
guy?
a fight.
Who's the guy? Tim
Meadows,
Meadows plays
an agent.
this agent who's kind of in charge of the task force.
Hilarious.
And he's hysterical. We find out he has his one disability, or his one weakness, is he has bird blindness. Which means
you can't make that up,
he
man.
can't
He is something.
tell how big, like if he sees a bird, he has no idea what kind of bird it is,
How big
or how
it is.
big it is.
Yeah.
And so he says, I see a bird, and it's every bird is a pigeon, and it's also an eagle, and it's also a duck, you know, and just like, and you know, economist is like, what do you mean? They're like completely different birds. And he's like, I've got bird blindness, man. And the bird is attacking this one guy, and he's trying to shoot it. He's like, I can't see. I don't know how big he is. It's so hysterical. But Eagly wrecks everybody, like attacks everybody.
Yeah.
And you know, struts. It's just such a great scene.
Yeah.
And they ended up leaving because of Eagly, which is great. But
so they never find the pocket universe.
No, well, they do locate it in the doorway. They
Right.
did. There was some machine they used, but the guy who was using the machine, Eagly, just basically
Ripped his eye out.
Oh my God. Just, it was like amazing.
That was a hell of a fight.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So look, I think, what do we have, 6 episodes? I think it is. It's not very long. I believe.
I do know the last couple of episodes, James Gunn did not release to a lot of influencers. So he wants to save those.
The last 2.
And he says that there's apparently the rumor is that there's such twists and turns in those that he didn't want any rumors getting out about them. So I think a lot of the influencers and insiders, Hollywood insiders,
that got
and
access
people,
to some of the early
they
episodes.
got 4 episodes. And so the 5th, 6th, I don't think nobody's seen yet.
Okay. Look, I look forward to this.
Yeah.
We know somebody is coming back. One of James Gunn's favorite actors to use, Michael Rooker is coming back. Next episode, he plays a shaman who's being tasked to go after Eagly,
to track. Yeah, like a bird.
So look, I'm looking forward to that. Look, if you're not watching this, please check it out.
It's good.
It's really well done, well written, good actors, and again, they're very invested in this. So go check it out, please. HBO Max, Peacemaker. You will not be disappointed. Again, you have a whole first season if you want to catch up on where this character came from and get all the details. So go check it out.
Yeah, I hope there's more cameos in this. I hope they bring in more people. And I'm looking forward to these couple episodes. When does it drop?
It's on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Yep. Excellent. Well, Professor, let's ring the bell. Class is over.
All right. Well, that's it for us this week. We'll be back next week for more Super Talk. If you want to get in touch with us on social media, hit us up via email, supertalkpodcast@outlook.com or @supertalkpod on Twitter. Until then, stay super, everyone.
Everyone likes this game. Haters gonna hate. And I know you can't wait.